Welcome back guys to my brand new tutorial. In today's video we're going to create a profile page in our blog application using Django and Python. Alright, so in the previous video we've created this profile database model right here and also created these free instances of our profiles. And for right now, the only way we can see those profiles is going inside of our admin dashboard right here and clicking on them. But in this video I want to create a profile HTML page where we can actually see all of those profiles. We can see user's username, biography, how many followers it has. We will also create a functionality to follow users on that same page, or show his profile picture and stuff like that. Alright, so to do that I will actually paste code that I actually wrote a couple of minutes ago, and yeah, I'll just move all of these imports up here, and also we need to import our profile model right here from our models. Now sorry again for copy and pasting, but yeah, you can actually copy all of that code from my GitHub. Link is in the description, and also I will explain every single line, so don't worry, you will understand everything. Alright, so let's start with explaining. So right here we're using this decorator called login required, and this is just a decorator, so we don't need to actually type, so we don't have to type all of this stuff if request.user.is authenticated, then if he isn't print something or redirect him or whatever. We just want to use this login required decorator, and Django does everything by itself. Alright, so let's start actually explaining this. So right here we created this function called profile detail, and we're using request as always, and also this parameter called username, which will be displayed in the URL up there, which we'll actually use to show the profile that is referenced to that username. Alright, and now what is this owner thing? So it is just the owner of the profile we are viewing. So for example, if in the URL we typed username called Tim, for example, right here, we are viewing the owner called Tim, and that's how we're going to get him using the user database model that is automatically corrected by Django, and we are looping through him using the filter username. So we are getting user that has the same username as the one in the URL. And reason I'm using this first is because it returns none if user is not found, which you can debug later on with. Which means if we type in the URL Django user, which he doesn't exist actually, it will return none, which you can debug later on, just like I did. So I raised this HTTP 404 user not found, and you can do whatever you want. You can return the 404 page if you have, and stuff like that. Right here we are trying to get the profile of that user that we typed its username in. So the reason I actually didn't grab the profile right here right away is because the profile model we created earlier doesn't have that username field right here. Remember, we used the user model actually to grab those usernames, passwords, emails and stuff like that. So that's the reason I didn't get the profile of that user right away. So yeah, right here we're getting this profile of that owner, and if he isn't found, we're just going to raise an error. And right here is really exciting part. So right here we're checking if the currently logged in user is following the user that we are currently viewing. So I call this variable is following, and we're checking for all the followers in that specific profile of that owner right here. And we are filtering if the currently logged in user actually exists in all of that looping. So for example, if we check team user right here and we loop through all of his followers, if we find the currently logged in user, which we are currently logged in as admin right here, if we found him right here that is actually selected, that means this will return true, and actually we can display the right color of the button later on in our HTML frontend. And right here we are just checking if the request.method is post, which means if the user clicked the follow or unfollow button, and also if the owner is not the currently logged in user, which means if we are currently logged in as admin and we are viewing admin's profile, we will not be able to actually follow or unfollow ourselves. And now we are checking if we are following already this profile we're currently viewing, we want to actually remove that follow. And if we are not actually following right now, we want to add ourselves to that following list because we clicked the follow button. And then we are redirected to the same profile of that user. And right here I created this posts variable right here, which will display all of the blog posts that are connected to that user we are currently viewing. So for example, we are looking at admin's profile, we'll see all of the blog posts that admin created and not team's blog posts, Jocker's blog posts and any other blog posts. So yeah, I just looped through all of those blog posts, filtered to the actual user, and yeah, I just ordered by -id, which means first blog post that is created by admin user will be displayed at the top and the last one created will be at the bottom. And yeah, just rendering right here our user profile HTML, which I'll create right now. So let's create right here in our templates, just call it user_profile.html, just like I called it in our views right here. And again, I'm going to paste this code I wrote a couple of minutes ago, and yeah, I'm just going to explain every single line so you don't worry really. So right here I used little bootstraps so I can style this div right here. I use this profile card, I displayed the image of that profile we're currently viewing, that profile's username, biography, how many followers does that profile has, and also this pluralize right here just adds an S if the user actually has 2 or more followers on that profile. And right here we are just displaying this follow or unfollow button based on how the currently logged in user is interacted with that profile. And just right here we are checking if the owner, that is actually the profile we're currently viewing, is not the user that is actually currently logged in. We can actually display that button. And right here we are just really displaying the right color of the follow or unfollow button if the currently logged in user is following or not following this profile currently. And right here in the end we are just displaying all of the blog posts of the profile we are currently viewing. So right here we can save this file and go to our urls.py right here, and I'll just copy the last URL right here and just create a new URL, and let's call it user. And also we need this username right here from the parameters and just display it right here. But this will not be an integer, we're expecting to get a string right here. So in the URL it will be something like user/admin, and that's what we want to get, then later on show the profile of that admin user. And also it will be profile_detail right here view, and also it will be for the name right here. So let's save this file right now and we can check it. So let's go to our user and let's check admin's profile right here. And as we can see, we're currently logged in as admin and we can't see that follow button right here. We can only see that it has 1 follower but no follow button right here. We can also check this user's blog posts right here, all of them, yeah. And we see its profile picture, username, bio and stuff like that. So now let's check actually Joker's profile, and now we can actually see the follow button, and if we click right here it should actually be 1 follower and also unfollow button displayed right here. And that's right, so we can click and unclick that and we can see that it actually works. If you like this video, make sure to check out the pinned comment of this video. I made a free PDF guide on how to help you pass the beginner stage and escape the tutorial hell, and also I have got another great video right here on screen. Make sure to check it out and I'll see you in that one.